guys, and welcome back to the final series of the day. It is the LA Guerrillas taking on the London Royal Ravens. It's our number 12 versus our number 11 versus number 12 seed. There we go, Jay. Somebody's got to win. Somebody has got to win, and it's interesting too, Jay, because you know, there were a few issues getting into this series. It was supposed to be the first one. Now it's the third one. I feel like the Guerrillas may have taken Lights Out a little too serious, but I do appreciate their dedication to the branding. When it comes down to the maps and modes, how do you feel about this one? We're flying into Fortress right now, brother.
I feel like this is going to be a battle, man. A straight square up in this map, number one. Obviously, we know LAG, they love themselves some Fortress. But overall, in Hardpoint, as of recent, they haven't found a lot of success. When you think about this LAG roster, when they were first formed, they went like 7-0 in Hardpoint, and eventually they ended out Major 2, 8-2. But ever since they got to the Major, and so far at this point, 1-7 in Hardpoint. So that's the biggest thing for me. LAG have to get in that prime form. On the opposite side for London, they have been showing fight ever since Major 3 has started. Close series versus Atlanta, all the way into game 5. When you talk about the series versus Boston, they have been fighting, man. So this is going to be a battle for whoever's trying to get their first W.
That's exactly right. It's been funny trying to see people make predictions, talking on the timeline of is there a favorite in this matchup? It's going to be a fun one, and we haven't yet to see a game 5 so far throughout week number 2 of our Major 3 qualifiers. This one maybe has the chance to go the distance. As we said, both teams eager to walk away with their first dub. And, well, Jay, I know we're on the topic of Lights Out. It feels like there is a little bit of light potentially, especially when we talk about the Guerrillas. Why is that when it comes down to their schedule?
It's because they have a pretty easy matches for the next one up. You're not playing any of the top contenders. If you win this series, you put yourself at 1-2 with your final 2 matches going up against the Florida Mutineers and the Vegas Legion. So very doable for the Guerrillas to still try to make that winner's bracket run going into the Texas Major. But it all starts with this match. You can't fall short versus London, who have been coming out swinging in their last couple of series.
Yeah, you called it perfectly. I mean, London, you know, despite having that 0-2 record, they have a close 3-0 versus Atlanta. Believe it or not, 3-0 sometimes can be close. You and I had the cast where they faced off against Boston, a very narrow 3-1 loss. We talked about it, how they very well should have won that opening hardpoint. So with all those things in mind, we quickly fly in toward P3. Some fights still going down over at Old. That's a 1v1 that's going to be pretty much guaranteed on who walks away with that final 15. But understandably so, it is the focus over toward the Fountain. LAG awarded the Scrapz, and they very well could be awarded the next rotation.
Oh, well, they have to be. You need to make sure you get this next rotation because London, they do tend to struggle off the breaks, but they find a lot of pressure already through double doors. They take a little bit of map control. Only one player here left from the Guerrillas. It's all going to be on the Arcties. He does take down one, but with him staying alive as long as he does, he's hoping his teammates get into the play. He lines up for the second. Jodeci's 5-2. Now it turns into a 1v1. LAG able to win the trades and able to win the spawns.
It is all out chaos. I'll tell you what, man.
Welcome to Fortress.
This map just feels more and more like Mokaj every single day, but at least when it comes down to this hardpoint, it is really a muddy hill when it comes down to this map. I know so often we talk about rotations, but right now it is about the breaks. LAG held the early time, but the Ravens never lost that fight as they're able to break for the final 25, and they're going to go ahead and extend a bit of that advantage as we get ready to head in toward cannons. One interesting aspect about the Ravens is that they've experienced a bit of a role change, right? We've got Nastie now on the flex. We're going to see Paul X more on that SMG. How do you feel about how both of those players have performed lately with those new roles?
Oh, without question, man. We saw London go up against Atlanta FaZe. Every single map was close. With Nastie now running that AR, he just looks a lot more confident on the map, man. Nastie's a guy who can slay with the best, and he did it versus Atlanta FaZe. He had like a 1.24 in the series, the only player positive on the side of the Ravens. So he's taking over when it comes down to the slaying. And then for Paul X, they were probably just getting that feeling you're playing a little bit too slow with that AR in hand. You're not putting yourself in these powerful positions to allow your SMGs to get pushed out. So switching him to a sub has definitely changed the pacing of this team, and it's been working out so far.
Yeah, it absolutely has. I mean, how often do we talk when a player walks away with a 1.24 KD despite getting 3-0 swept? Like we said, light at the end of the tunnel still for the Guerrillas, and the same thing can be said for the Ravens. A difficult schedule for them as Jodeci's has come to play in this hardpoint. We've talked about it for the Guerrillas. They really saw dramatic success with this early roster change back at the Major 2 qualifiers. Since then, 1-7 in their last 8 hardpoints. It could be up to some of the rookies that make the plays. 16-7 right now for Joe to see as we fly in toward P5. And right now, Jay, it is the Ravens who have control over Blacksmith.
Yeah, the Ravens are fully set up. They know exactly where the pressure is going to be coming from. You have map control. You have stables control of that player watching the flank. You also pushed out towards open arches. Just keeping everyone at bay right now for the Guerrillas. Finally, Joe Thieves is able to take down one. Now you have some map control, but now you got to focus on where Matty Marshall is, who's currently cutting them down from inside the stable. Just going to go out and chow. Unfortunately, he walks right into the pre-aim of a soul. But this has been a great hold from London to take the lead of this game. Final 20 seconds left. If you are the Guerrillas, you want to slay them out. You want to try to trap them in, but kills going in favor of London. They can potentially chain this and get out at the same time.
Oh, and Scrapz goes for a bit of a heat check, puts a few bullets there in the back of the horse. But it's Nastie who's there to clean it up in the end. As you said, LAG trying to put them firmly in the back of that spawn trap. However, the Ravens say no. They spread their wings, and now they are the first ones that are going to be over at P1. A solid start here for London as Nastie tried to get things going. Eventually found out from the back, but London with a sizable lead as we've still got 45 points to fight for, kicking off the second side.
We still got 45, and that's going to be LAG finding a clean 4 dead in the feed. But the only thing is, now London were able to flip those spawns, put themselves on a better side, going over towards that P2. So these gunfights are going to be massive. The Guerrillas all control right now of P1. You have trophy systems to work with to block these tags, but it's all going to be about these gunfights. Only 25 seconds left. If you are London, you don't want anyone to slip on out. You don't want to drop as well off the rotation, but you at least still have that one player in Arsenals that was playing it nice and slow towards double sword. So the spawns do not flip. London just have to set up around this P2 now.
Well, we talked about it previously for the Guerrillas, Jay. Their primary mode of success when it came down to their run throughout the Major II qualifiers was in breaking. We'll see if they can do that right now as Scrapz is putting it all to an end. A lovely little 3 right now from Scrapz. Now at 21 and 13. We've talked about it on multiple occasions about him, his new addition to the team, you know, a veteran coming into the roster, takes the break off of Vanguard, but right now, you would not know that the man took a break. It takes a few members from LAG just to wipe him off of the point. But as Scrapz falls, it then opens up an opportunity now for the Guerrillas. They have their chance. They get about 2 seconds inside of the hill, but that is all that they will be awarded. 20 seconds to go, and right now, Jay, the Ravens have wonderful position over toward the fountain.
The Ravens have wonderful position, but LAG are fighting for this remaining junk time. Let's step aside and listen how the comms sound with the Guerrillas.
Yeah, I'll this spawners. Go. No, he's back circle that. Under me. At the box. Jumping on it. I'm front. No, I'm dead. I'm gonna spawn gate. You front. I got you. Okay. He's one shot at him. That's you got, man. 3 circle. He's one front down. Kill the guy. I got naded. He's gonna turn some shit. He's stable. He's on the box. At the box. Got you. I'll see him at the box. Dead. Box. Nice shot. Second time. We block 8. We should spawn the guy out now. And we can maybe I'm with you.
Wait, front triangle for it.
Top circle weave.
You're good.
Back map. One is top. Let's spawn out there.
He's going mark.
We're jump wrapping.
Watch out. I'm stuck B5.
I'm trying to play for this. P4 side door. Help me.
He's on time.
He's weak as fuck.
I'm backing up there.
We got a top P4 pole. We have to play pole.
Playing you are.
I'm missing pole.
He's going up P5 right now.
All top rail.
We're sorry.
Backstep. That one gate. It's 3 right? Play safe on street. I'll push out left.
I'm backing up. Play windows. Yo, gate right now. Gate dead.
Listen. Play safe on right. Play safe.
And the communication is on point for the Guerrillas, but you can hear the signs of disbelief that they just gave up that P3 the way that they just did. They won that rotation, but just couldn't find any kills. And now London find themselves up by 60 points. You have to cut your losses. You have to play over towards P4 and get yourself a solid hold to try to climb back into this one. It's now LAG fully set up towards P4. The pressure from London all going to be from Art. They have full railings control. These gunfights are going to be big.
Oh, and Joe Thieves tries to snap on a second. Asim's still alive, and that distraction will cause some problems there for Arsenals. Meanwhile, it's the other AR for the Guerrillas in Assault. Trying to make a bit of a play on the outside. Not comfortable to get back inside of the hard point, and for good reason. The Ravens are running wild in the bottom side of cannons as it is another break. And I know, Jay, it wasn't the greatest hard point over at that last hill, but P2 to P3 is where they have extended their advantage. And tell you what, man, it feels like they have a newfound confidence The best part about it all is that so often we talk about Asim as the guy making the plays. He's turned things around when it comes down to his game, now on 5 in a row, but the rest of the team coming to life. Paul X, Nastie, and especially Scrapz, 10 points away as he's nearly at that 30 bomb.
Oh yeah, this game is basically over, Lando. LAG have to try to find a break. 2 dead already in the feed, make it all 4 as the Ravens come out in map number 1, making a statement, dominating to now go up 1-0 in this series.
And it's unfortunate. It is. I mean, we were talking about the Guerrilla side. I mean, now it's going to be 1-8 in their last 9 hard points. Coming into this fortress, we were wondering if the SMGs are going to be able to open up the lanes, if they can really kind of get back to that previous breaking style that they had become so successful at back in our Major II qualifiers, but there on fortress, not at all the case. As we take a look through the stats, Jay, is there a player really throughout either of these 8 names that stands out the most for you?
Oh, well, it's got to be Scrapz, man. You see his stat line, 29 and 20, 21 non-traded kills with 3,400 damage.
Goodness.
The guy was putting down some shots, man, for his team, making these gunfights probably a little bit easier. But you see on the side of LAG, they just couldn't win a couple of rotations, man. That P2 was a really struggle for them because when you're not finding any time off P2, obviously you have to make that decision pretty quick to hit that early rotation over towards P3. They try to do it on the second rotation of hard points. They got there nice and early, but then a lot of pressure. All the trades are going down towards double doors, and it was London who were able to come out on top. It's a really slow start from the Guerrillas. In this map number 1, London just had way better setups. They were winning their rotations. And that eventually is what leads to a success on a map like Fortress. It's not easy to break out of a bunch of these setups, especially when you're getting those bad spawns. LAG just didn't have an answer, especially for the slaying on the side of the Ravens. It was like Asim who started off really slow, but then he just turns up to a whole different level. He's able to earn that cruise missile towards the later half of this game. Once he finds those couple of kills, you see the score line, it drastically changes. Guerrillas just have to get back into their prime form and hardpoint. I know when this team was first formed, they were the #1 breaking team all throughout stage 2. Didn't find it at all throughout stage 3 because teams are starting to understand how they like to play. You get there early, you will find success. LAG just have to get back to the fundamentals when it comes to the respawn.
Yeah, it made you kind of wonder a little bit, Jake, for the other side of the London Royal Ravens coming into this, right? Both teams frustrated, as you see Exceed's face, still experiencing a bit of frustration. But recently for the Ravens, right, we know the records that they have been going on, right? They kick off the beginning of this season hot. They win their opening first few series, and from there they've won like 1 in their last 10 games. They've experienced such close matches lately versus Boston and versus Atlanta. The questions are out there, right? Are Ravens going to be able to use those close series as frustration or use it a bit more as motivation? And I feel like this game 1, regardless of the way that we thought they were feeling after those opening 2 series, a W like that has to feel good. And I feel like also when it comes down to that role change, this team is looking on a much better pace. I feel like when it comes down to just different plays around the map, Paul is just incredibly snappy with the Vaznev. Obviously, we saw what Nastie was able to do versus the Atlanta FaZe. I know the records aren't amazing lately for the Ravens, but I wonder if that role change especially has a lot to do with what is still a very excited and fiery team, despite what's been a very poor record lately for them.
Yeah, you have to be a very excited, fire team up because this squad, keep in mind, they haven't been a roster for that long, man. You think about when this team was first formed, was like during the middle of stage 2 when Zero decides to hit the bench. Paulette comes in, and he comes in as that flex player. Obviously, you're going up against a lot of tough teams. You make that roster change going up against a bunch of these squads who are already polished, know exactly what their game plan is. It was all catch-up for the Ravens. But it's looking like they have eventually caught up, man. So far throughout this stage, they've had a lot of close series, maps that they should have been able to win. And map number 1 this time around wasn't Hotel, so it doesn't end over towards Diner. That has been making them nightmares. They switch it on up, they take that Fortress, and now they start off 1-0 in this series. It's good, because now they're going into this Mercado Search and Destroy where they do have a better record than the Guerrillas. The Guerrillas have a 1-3 overall record. They have lost 3 times with the same exact squad on this map, losing in a 4-6. They've won it the only time that they have played it versus OpTic Texas in a 6-4 fashion. But I think the biggest thing that this map is going to come down to is the success on their attacking rounds. It's London 4th overall on this map compared to LAG, who are 11th.
Oh, and kicking it off, it is good old Mr. Plumridge putting in the work with the sniper. Does he have something to be said for the second Nade tossed out, but it is a great answer here off the start for London as they begin their process of elimination toward the cantina. Second snipe, not gonna hit it. You can see from Nastie's POV, a bit frustrated with that gunfight loss, but a big one nonetheless for Assault. Thankfully though for the Ravens, despite losing Nastie, they pick up from where he left off. Current 3v2.
Current 3v2, but Assault finds another kill onto a round, and Exceed finds the time to strike. Great shots to take down Asim. So now in the 1v2, all left up to Paulex. Dead silence has yet to be earned. Gonna wrap his way all the way around towards the back, but the rotation for the Guerrillas is making its way all the way towards B. You should be able to pick up that information, and with only 30 seconds left, now you know that the bomb is gonna be committed over towards that B bomb plant. Just gotta probably wait for your dead silence to come in.
Oh, no problem though. Exceed hanging out. Is Paul gonna read this? Is Paul gonna read this? I was gonna say he did not pop Denny. Paul knows that he's here. LAG trying to set up that crossfire. Aggressive as ever was Paul X in that 1v2 situation. But my goodness, Jay, it felt like he had the opportunity, but the Guerrillas hold. As we said, that crossfire, it would not give.
Yeah, that crossfire was too good. Exceed was not overextending on the Chow. He was waiting for that crossfire to be set in place as Assault eventually plants that bomb and is able to find that final kill. I think right there, if you are London, you find that first blood onto a player towards top cantinas in the 4v3. You have two players playing towards tunnel. You know they can't get that bomb down. We shouldn't be able to give up our lives for free, but two players are able to do so. So LAG, they take the first round, all in the 3-piece on the back of Assault.
Utility tossed early, but it's Nastie who's got all the information in the world. However, I was going to say, does he spot the player that's made it toward the top side of this roof? That's going to be Exceed. He fires back with a quick 2. It was an instant 4v2 for the Ravens, but the rookie has turned things around and at the very least makes things a bit more manageable. Now for the captain in Arsony, set tosses out a nade, says a prayer. Not gonna go. London equalize.
It's all about the attacking rounds, man. I told you, London right there, they just played it super patient. They found the initial 2 kills. Exceed almost makes a play happen with finding 2 of his own, but you sniff him out and then Scrapz throws a perfect shoulder towards tunnel to not fully commit towards the gunfight. Once he gets that information, both players fly out from cantinas and are able to set up the double chow and secure the first round on the board for London. Tied at 1 now.
Jumping in toward round number 3. Trophies available. Currently dead silence as well, but we all know where you're headed. There is no surprise when it comes out of Mercado. I know, I think that's player number 5 in Paul X. Just being careful in case something spicy were to occur, but all out toward the cantina once more. And so far it has been easy pickings for the Ravens. That is 2 to start.
Yeah, Scrapz finds 2 from the top dumpster heady. So now into 4v2. You don't really have to be the aggressors here. Just play for your information. Do not give up your life for free. They are forced to commit towards the bomb plant. You have 1 player in Paul X watching that cross over back towards B. So everyone just simply play your life. As you're still getting the sound cues, Asim is able to take down Assault. Now it's all up to Exceed, and a 1v4 makes it a 1v3.
Well, Jay, we nearly saw a 1v4 earlier, so I would say anything is possible. 30 seconds to go, though. And the issue for Exceed is that no matter where he goes, there's going to be 2 players looking at him. We'll see what the rookie has up his sleeves. Nice shots there on his Scrapz. Goes for the instant challenge. Able to find that one. Nastie now goes for the challenge.
Oh my!
And there was not an instant answer there for Paul X. Paul will pop Denny, get out of dodge. The same thing can be said for Exceed as he'll look to make the rotation. Can he get to B in time? And yes, he will. A 1v4 that is very much still on the cards now.
Oh, Exceed makes a phenomenal play. Rotating this bomb all the way towards B. So Paul X, he does invest that dead silence, but it eventually runs its way out. As now time is starting to tick. Such a crucial round for this young man. If he can make this play happen, he's going to get the sound cues that Paul X is going to be towards middle. The engagement is here, and he's able to clutch on up the 1v4 from Exceed. What a play from the snap back. Laying backwards. Unbelievable, Lando. I cannot believe he just allowed that to happen.
Fellow walked so Exceed could run. That's all that I know. What a wild play that is from Exceed. A 1v4 in a spot like that. How does he escape? And I gotta say, Jay, the timing there for Nastie where he pops on out and there is nobody there. There is nobody there. Miscommunication at its finest as Ravens crumble. Exceed walks away with the 1v4, and momentum surely has got to be underneath him as he is going through every single bit of utility. He wanted a bit more of the fight, and I wonder if that was maybe the right play looking back at it, as Ravens are able to reply back really the way that you wanted to see them do.
Oh, yeah, just 4 out towards A. You win your initial gunfights. Everybody just plays the trades. Perfect round fight from London.
I can do it. The stuns, the utility. I'm getting hit with grenades. I can do it. Not this time, buddy. 1v4 was nice, but I don't know about
Not that time. You see Asim, he's probably holding that to his forehead.
Oh, he's drenched.
Yeah.
Sweating.
A little stressed out that his teammates just gave up a 1v4. But it's all tied at 2 now. You basically chalk that round up. You're able to even the playing field, all on the attacking side so far on Mercado. London going to be the aggressors. You have a couple trophies into the block, a couple things when it comes to the attacks. As they're going to be able to put that pressure over towards A, but this time London LAG are going to switch it on up. You have one player seeping his way all the way through that B site. It's going to be Joe Deceive invested at Dead Silence.
Oh, and you can see right now for the Ravens, they're trying to poke out a lot of players, make Arstees have to gamble. Joe Deceive's going to put his first kill up on the board so far throughout this search. Very pesky player in a game mode such as this, and finally, he is there to arrive, making that B bomb site that much more easy for the teammates to join alongside of him. However, Paul X pops that Dead Silence and makes his way up toward the alley. And he's able to get onto this bomb site, Jay. He can cause some problems here.
Oh, Paul X, he finds one. Can't find a snap onto the second, but at least you get all the information for Mr. Scrapz, who has no Dead Silence to work with. So now in the 2v1, time is starting to tick. Probably not going to be able to put yourself in a position to take this player off bomb, but look at the route Arstees is getting. He's going to be able to at least spot that cross.
Oh, great work coming in from the vet. Trigger discipline at its finest. As Joe Deceives, who was so fiery to kick off this round, now has to go for the plant, and Scrapz has got first visual at him. Knows that he's gone toward the left, but once he escapes there, where could he go? As we said, no Dead Silence for Scrapz. Making some noise. Looking for the information. The vet versus the youngest player in the league. Who will come out on top? Would be a 1v2. Breaks the glass. Can he get the rookie to shake? Scrapz coming through the door using every bit of sound that he can. And it will be a clutch again.
What a round right there from Scrapz. He finds that angle onto Arstees to take him off the bomb. And then even with no Dead Silence, plays it super patient in the round. Like you said, just making a whole lot of noise in towards 10. Just had Joe Deceives looking at so many different angles of where he's going to attack from. But I think once Scrapz breaks that top 10 window, you get Joe Deceives to give up his positioning. The advantage is in your favor. What a clutch right there from Scrapz, who had a stellar map number 1 and is continuing on to this map number 2. London, go up 3-2 now.
I'll tell you what, man, like you said, I mean, Scrapz just using every single bit of audio cues possible. Incredible work. A 1v2 and a 1v4. We're only 5 rounds in. Good God. What do we have left? Here on this Mercado Search Destroy, it has been everything but typical when it comes down to this map. Oftentimes, it's a headbutt that just goes down to a quick round either which way, but these have been drawn out. And now the two clutchers will gaze upon each other for a moment. London, they've got full site control. Meanwhile, for LAG, they're the ones spreading their wings and looking for a window of opportunity toward the back.
Yeah, LAG are just trying to put a lot of pressure on through back Barber, but with all that information you just gained, let's just get this bomb down, force them to retake in the 4v4. Paul X throwing great show that at least gets communication onto 2, but these gunfights are going to be big. He at least finds the first.
Yeah, that's great work from Paul, being able to stay alive. However, Exceed eventually there to cut him down. 3 versus 3, 30 seconds to go, and understandably so. Nastie's there to pop the Dead Silence. Arstees able to find another straggler toward the outside Asim. Nastie, that Dead Silence play ends up paying off, but Asim ends up finding 2 in close range. The statue AR putting that tack to good use. Hit fire indeed, as the retake is in for the Guerrillas as they come away with another crazy one. 3-3 now.
Oh man, this S&D has been back and forth, insane rounds, super fast rounds where you're talking about the pressure over towards A. But the Guerrillas, they said, London, you're not going to do that to us again. Let's take a replay look at this as the double punch tries to come on in. But the world champ in Assault is able to find that two. But you see the frustration right there at Nastie.
We've all felt that way.
Yeah, that one's tough, man. You're probably thinking you're getting that easy two-piece beat down and then force it to 1v1, but Assault is able to clutch on up and already into the round. You have to slow down because these nades are flying.
Like, wait a second. My trophy's supposed to work in a situation like this. All right. Toss our nades toward you. Go to Thieves. Half HP. And that definitely will be a bit of an issue for the Guerrillas off the start, as they're a little slow to get in toward the cantina. A few shoulders exposed, but it is straight on playing for that first pick as both teams answer very, very rapidly into this round. Scrapz now improving to 9-3. Keeping that vet alive is really the most important part as X looks to hit the route. Dead silence has been popped. That runs out. Not a problem. Cuts down Exceed. Now all up to the ARs of LAG.
That's a perfect timing right there from X to find that angle to get that freebie onto Exceed. They were trying to rotate that bomb back, but now the Guerrillas are basically trapped. You have to at least try to push out one angle to get some information on how they're playing this setup, as RC is going to get super aggressive through back bananas. Unfortunately, he's going to walk right into the setup of Nastie. Now leaves Assault in the 1v3, makes it a 1v2.
Anything is possible, Jay. Anything is possible. Shout out to Kevin Garnett. 15 seconds to go. And Assault. This round has surely got to be done. Nastie is going to hang on that cop car heady for as long as possible. And here comes Paul to save the day as the Ravens are able to grab another one themselves. A moment where everybody takes a breath for a moment. There's an opportunity for a clutch. And so far, it feels like every time a player's been able to deliver. Not this time for Guerrillas, as the Ravens are able to grab their fourth.
Yeah, the Ravens just had the perfect setup right there. At least the trade goes on right in the initial beginning of that round to make it a 3v3. Scrapz is able to get out with his life. But then that play falls into the hands of X. Once he gets that kill of the player trying to rotate back, you have LAG trapped. They have to at least commit towards the bomb plant. They decide not to do that. And then the Ravens eventually clutch on up.
Oh.
But look at this blind counter. Look at this blind counter, Lando. They're expecting the Ravens to be super aggressive towards A like they have been every single round. But this time it's completely different. They're going to slowly work their way up towards B.
And you can tell for LAG, I mean, the SMGs, the rookies quickly clear out Cantina, and they know that this push is in. A tad late to read it, but they pretty much play the aggressive card. And now with that information, as they go toward B, London are saying, all right, back to A we go. Exceed the only player here. Nastie also looking for information, as this is an all-out switch up again. From B to A to back to B. I don't blame LAG, Jay. I don't know where Ravens are even going myself. Joe Deceives, first blood.
Joe Deceives finds the first. Now he's getting the sound cues that there's more players on this side of the map, so the Social's gonna try to watch over him. 25 seconds left, gets the worst timing possible as Pollux is able to take him down. Now forcing it into a 3v3. Big name from Archides to keep him off bomb.
Oh, Assault's able to stay alive. Everybody wins their fights, and despite what was just a very shifty round from the Ravens, constant rotations, constant OEs, LAG, they work off the information and they don't get baited. That is just a huge amount of props for them, Jay. Not even to allow for the bomb to go down. And honestly, after some bad timing from Joe Deceives, I thought that maybe that could have been a round right there. Guerrillas showing their stuff and desperately trying to get back in this game as they level things to 4.
Such a back and forth S&D, and they said anything you can do, we can probably do better, but this time we're going to be super aggressive over towards that B site. And this should be a free B bomb plant. London to get all that information, and only one nade, one stun that goes over at that A bomb. We probably have to rotate our way back. By the time they get here, though, a bomb is already going to be planted. Now forced to 4v4 retake with 40 seconds.
Yeah, you got to appreciate the aggression, as now they will make the Ravens come to them. A 4v4 retake. Only player that's really out of the play right now is Archides, trying to ensure that a flank is not a possibility, and it is not. It is all London from the front as they come stopping their way in toward the B site. X able to answer early. Now it's on his Joe Deceives. He has been very, very tricky when it comes down to these doors, as that's going to be 2 for him. Assault will grab the third. Nastie now left at a 1v3, and there is no time to defuse that bomb. Best of luck, buddy. LAG taking a page out of the Ravens book and making it work.
Oh, that's no hesitation plays right there out of the Guerrillas. You had one player that was just causing problems over there towards Cantinas through his attacks to keep them at bay. You get that bomb down for free, and then Joe deceives. Likes to hold the door open for a couple players. He's able to find 3 towards bottom 10. And is able to close out the round for the Guerrillas to chain 2 back-to-back and now put them at game point.
See if they can answer. Or do the Ravens have what it takes to get us to a round 11? In their last series, we saw them go to a round 11 versus Atlanta, and it didn't go pretty. Sorry, Ravens fans, I had to bring it up. It is the case. You're allowed to be easy to clutch at a 1v3. Anyway, into the round we go. Ravens a free A site, and right now for LAG, they are investing a ton in a flank. Everybody eager to jump in the barbershop. It's a few shots are exchanged. Ravens, they're feeling the pressure on the back.
Oh, they're feeling the pressure. It's the same exact play the Guerrillas were trying to execute when they retake it the last time. So London know exactly where the pressure is going to be coming in from. Paul X though the same exact shoulder, but this time we can't dot the island player Narcities.
Oh, but Paul, he ends up getting sniffed out. He does not feel comfortable in the position that he was in. Wonderful utility toss from LAG as they clear the board. 4 up and 4 down. LAG do not allow for this to get to a round 11 and will answer in the search and destroy. Wonderful work covered in there from the boys. And Jay, it feels like that Mercado search destroy was anything but typical all game long. So often it is a headbutt toward Cantina, and in back-to-back situations where London are on attack, it's Guerrillas investing in the flank, and it will pay off as we've got ourselves a 1-to-1 series now.
Oh man, great search and destroy from both squads, but LAG with the mid-round adjustments to shut down that pressure towards A. They did the same exact pinch when they needed to retake in that 4v4 situation twice. You send 3 through back alley. You have Arsenes being that slow player playing towards the back end. As they find all 4 kills in that final round. And I don't know what's going on with the Guerrillas and Mercado S&D, but the scoreline is always 6-4. It's always 6-4 when you talk about this map for the Guerrillas. But this time they're able to clutch on up in the search and destroy and now make it a series tied at 1.
Yeah, big answer here on the Mercado. And you know, it's interesting, we did see LAG, I think when they faced off against OpTic Texas, they got absolutely rocked in their opening hard point. They came to a Mercado search destroy. We saw some big plays, we saw some big clutches. Exceed, he was able to save the day in that search destroy versus OpTic, and he comes away with a 1v4 that has absolutely got to be the play of the game or whatever it is. Yeah, that was absolutely wild that he was able to come away with it. How lucky are we, by the way, that we nearly saw back-to-back 1v4s in our 2 series today?
You gotta be really lucky, man, because I'm telling you, plays like this do not happen. If you allow 1v4 to happen, your team made a lot of mistakes. It's not just the first gunfight. It's not the second. It's usually the third guy. The third guy who drops in that gunfight, which in this instance, it was Nastie. He just goes out for the chow. His teammates are probably calling out, I hit him with 2 bullets. He's going to be weak. You have the advantage. But they were not ready for the snap from Exceed, man. That young man had some serious ice in that clutch to eventually lead to the map victory for the Guerrillas.
Yeah, major props to Exceed, who is sitting in a pretty interesting seat right now. I think he's actually sitting in Drazah's spot at the LA Thieves facility, which has got to be pretty interesting. I don't know, something about the ice, I guess, when it comes down to a spot like that. But we'll see if both these teams can have the ice and maybe send it to a game 5. As we said, Jay and I have been pretty lucky today. Can we have the first game 5 here of week number 2 in our Major 3 qualifiers? We will have to find out. A long way to go. Stay with us as Hotel Control is up after this.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Hi friends, and welcome back. Lando and Study carrying you guys through the final series of the day and of the week. And if you have been joining us, you just got to witness one of the crazier clutches that we have seen this season. Our Scuff play of the game, and it's an Exceed, not 1v2, not 1v3, but a 1v4. Jay, this is tough if you're the Ravens.
Oh, yeah, without question. Obviously, Asim, he drops first. Scrapz drops second. But then Nastie, what are we doing, man? We cannot chow in that situation. There's only 20 seconds left on the clock. Keep in mind, you're on defense. He has to play it, Lando. He's got to get the bomb down. If you're going to go for the chow, at least chow with your teammate. Don't force the one-on-one and allow him to get out the play. Exceed did everything right in that moment, winning crucial one-on-one after one-on-one. And then even in that final 20 seconds, hitting that rotation with that silence pop over towards B, getting that bomb down with about 5.6 seconds left on the clock. That was just an insane play, man. The young man with the snap back in that 1v4.
Oh, it's so funny, dude. Like, taking a look at Paul X, like, he just so frustratingly gives his teammate a fist bump. Like,
yeah, you gotta, bro, because at that point, you're sitting there like, dog, what are you doing, man? He has to plant. We can't fight one-on-ones, so you can definitely feel the frustration on Paul X.
I do respect the fact that he at least did fist bump his teammate. Like, you know, you say,
yeah, vibe's still there.
It is clearly not all good. LAG answer into the search and destroy. And, well, let's take a look at the guy who is the man of the hour right now. Mr. 1v4 now comes into the control. But as we said, a lot of eyes on him. And I know, Jay, you know, nobody really played well in that Boston 3-0 loss. But in the series that they go to a Game 5 versus OpTic Texas, if there has been a bright spot for LAG despite this 0-2 start, I really feel like it's been Exceed lately.
Oh, yeah, without question, man. He had, like, the best series I've ever seen him play versus that OpTic Texas squad. Just couldn't shut down Huke when you talk about that game number 5. But into this control, LAG doing a great job already. Turning the stats on its head, slaying out with the best. When you talk about control for the Guerrillas, they are not good at it. They basically suck because they cannot find kills. A 0.8 overall KD on every single control map is not going to lead to success. So it's all about the slaying, and they're finding it early.
Oh my goodness, and Exceed is just everywhere right now on the map as he wins that big 1v1, and that will open up the spigot of spawns essentially for LAG as they run right in toward the restaurant, and now 2/3 of the way are there. Asim for a last second challenge. He gets made quick work of. You got to be careful for the Ravens. Do not want to throw away these lives for free. Thankfully, Scrapz is at least able to find one as he will laugh his way toward just the outside of the restaurant. So going to continue to put pressure on. Meanwhile, LAG does fully capture A. Scrapz is found out, and now really for the Guerrillas, they've got a lane to make a bit of a push toward the backside of the spawns.
Oh, yeah, they have a great lane to at least find a couple kills towards the back of the base. And you also have Arsony, who's slow playing towards bedroom, but eventually he gets sniffed out. 2 kills go in favor of the Ravens. So they were able to at least maintain map control. Joe Deceive is able to find one, so you know this player is going to be setting up for that pinch. But it's all about maintaining bed, fighting for that mid-map.
Great coordination here for the Guerrillas. You can tell for Joe Deceives wants the challenge for one, and he'll pretty much leave that player over out of the play. As he jumps on forward, he eventually does get found out. However, for the Guerrillas, they will have a bit of an opportunity here. Arsony hops behind the box, and now for Paul X, the pressure to find this player toward the top is incredibly important. Exceed eventually found. However, for the Guerrillas, they found that first segment over at B. Asim trying to be a bit of a problem. However, he gets found out as well. These have not been easy trades by any stretch of the imagination for the Ravens. They've had the control, they've had the map positioning, but they have not had the trades. Finally able to get a few bits of progress when it comes into kills from LAG off of this B point, but Guerrillas are making them work.
Oh, yeah, that was a very, very important trade sequence right there from the Ravens. At least able to come out on top and maintain the left side of that map. So now with only 30 seconds left, London do find themselves up by 2 lives. Just have to hold down this final push. It's going to be the Guerrillas trying to put pressure on towards the back. And he finds one, but Scrapz is there for another trade. He's having himself one hell of a series, man. Already 9-4 on a 5, so he can potentially earn that cruise.
Without question, time continues to tick, and are they going to feed Scrapz for streaks? Looks like that could be the case. He's got a bit of pressure coming in from that blue desk. tosses out the trophy just to ensure that his life is at least remained intact going into this next round. So London do walk away with the round. They do give away a few segments. I think all in all, you can still be pretty happy with that if you are LAG, but I don't know, man. I feel like they put in enough pressure to grab 5 segments to walk away with 4. Some big plays at the end from the Ravens, and as you called it, some big plays coming in from the vet and Scrapz.
Yeah, that's big plays coming in from the vet and Scrapz, man. Just holding down that power position with that AR in hand towards top double desk. Was able to cut down a lot of the important players on the side of the Guerrillas who were maintaining that bedroom control. Once you find those kills, you get pushed up. You force them all the way at kitchen, force them to overextend. Just wasn't enough time for the Guerrillas to work with. So London, they hold strong on the defensive end. And when you talk about London, when you talk about control, this is the map that they only find success on. Both the other control maps, they have yet to find a win. Overall record sitting at 3-8. Hasn't been the best, but this is the one where at least got a W.
So we were talking about it coming into it, Jay. You were like, you know, Hotel Control is a map where London's seen success. They have not won any other control map when it comes down to this game. And I was like, are you serious? And you're like, yeah, absolutely. The Ravens have only won on Hotel. That is wild, to put it lightly. You can definitely tell where the issues have come for the Ravens in their games. The reason why the struggles as of late have occurred. But a lot of things, but control in specific. Scrapz does not end up earning that streak in the meantime. Big life for him to take as he ends up dropping. Meanwhile, for the rest of the Ravens, still pretty much sunny skies. They made their way into B. Asim is able to find 2, and now Arshni's feeling the pressure. He's got to give that one up. He's got no teammate support, a full 4-man stack, and that is wonderful, wonderful play coming in from the Ravens.
That's good work right there from the Ravens to just put that early pressure over towards B and then eventually complete that point. It's a lot easier to capture over towards A. All you need is 1 set of kills. You do have map control right now. If you are the Guerrillas, you're all the way pushed out towards kitchen. You influence on those spawns for the Ravens all the way across the map, but a couple kills go in favor of London. This is where you can attack.
Oh, but Exceed is going to win 2. However, only will find 1 for his troubles. Player number 3 in Joe Deceives. The next layer tries to go for the turn on. However, Nastie's able to find him. It is 5 in a row in total for the team as Scrapz is once more going on a spree and snaking away inside of the restaurant. Have LAG got an answer as those segments begin to fly? They toss their utility. They throw in their lives. Do they have enough? Not at all. Ravens, wonderful, wonderful play. We talked about it. Scrapz doesn't earn the streak off the start. Looked like a little bit of a negative, but from that point forward, it was wonderful play and coordination coming in from London as they walk all over LAG in that attack.
That's just a perfect execution on the game plan right there. We're putting pressure over towards B. All right, we have to win the gunfights. All right, we did that. Let's everybody stack the point. Let's force the Guerrillas to all spawn out towards Jules. They're going to have kitchen control. We fight through the middle of the map. You find 2 kills, and then at that point, there's only 2 players from the Guerrillas left on that side of the map. You sniff them out, and you stack the point. Flawless round right there from the Ravens to now go up 2-0. Guerrillas just did not have an answer. You have to be able to slay them.
You do indeed. Ravens doing their best to try to snap a 4 control game losing streak. As we said, Hotel, it has really been their bread and butter, and that's really been about it. I guess for the Ravens, maybe the beans and toast would be the more accurate comparison when it comes down to food. I'm getting hungry, Jay. Meanwhile, for LAG, firmly into that A zone. Nobody really there to contest as Joe Deceives hits a snapper, lightening the load for the Guerrillas. And it feels like for Ravens, they're giving up that A zone and focusing all of their attention on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, I'm a little hungry as well, Lando. With all these players from the Guerrillas in towards the kitchen, hopefully they can cook us up a nice hot meal.
Ooh.
But it just has to come with some slaying. Let me get a little side of slaying, and so far they're doing a great job of doing so. As Joe Deceives finds himself on a 2 spree, they're able to close out this A point and extend time by a minute. And they also find themselves up by 3 lives. So Joe Deceives invested that dead silence. He's going to be able to sneak by enemy lines, able to find that spawn kill onto Scrap. And this is where it can start to get scary for London. You have to iron up.
You do indeed. Nastie and Assault are right next to each other. I was going to say, whoever wins that fight, if it's Assault, that could break things open for LAG. They will have to live to see another day. As we said, they get that A zone nice and quick. Joe Deceives, hot enemy lines, cannot find that kill onto Nastie. And from there, it will get cleaned up. Ravens doing their best to establish a bit more of map control, and all of it comes down toward the bedroom. Who has got it, attack or defense? And right now, LAG have got control of it, doing their best off the spawn to slay and really try to stay alive. Minute 30 on the clock.
Yeah, they're still putting pressure on from the front, though. When you find a couple kills, someone try to go for a route, and that plays right into what London want them to do. Sprint to the front side, and then the ARs cut them all down. 2 from Scrapz, 2 from Nastie, and Scrapz gets aggressive through bottom plant. He's able to find another kill. If you are the Guerrillas, we need to stop wrapping back towards bed. We need to play through their spawn because there's too many bodies right now from London with bed control.
It just feels like they're sliding out right now. I mean, Asim, as we said, has not really been the story so far of this series. It's been Nastie, it's been Paul, and right now it has been Scrapz. Sitting on another spree. We'll see if he can finally earn that cruise missile, or really he'll even need it. Because right now it is 40 seconds to go before this map could be done. LAG looking for an answer, and we'll see if maybe it could be Exceed who's there to find it. Asim will get sniffed out toward the back. And with that being the case, you can see where the arrows are starting to form. Right now from the Guerrillas, a current 4v2, or rather 4v3 on the point. Now make it 4v2. Here come Guerrillas.
That's a big kill right there. To take down Nastie from top double desk, and now they take that player in towards bedroom. They're able to find 2 kills. Now the stack is going to be in, but do they read these last 2 players on the flank for London? They're able to take down Asim from top bed. You have to play it patient if you are Nastie. Wait for your teammates to try to get into the play. Paul X finds 1. Paul X finds 2. Nastie finds a 3rd. Now it's all left up to Assault. 14 seconds left. You have to make a miracle happen.
You gotta make a miracle run. It's gonna be Dolphin Dives. It's gotta be sprinting. Can LAG get here in time? Assault able to keep it going for a moment. It's a beamer. They're on to Paul. LAG with bodies, with nades, with kills. Kasim saved. He's able to find a few. Assault still here. Assault still here. Wins the gunfight, and Guerrillas remain alive after some heroics on both sides of the screen. I thought it was Asim who was gonna find 3, but Assault stays alive, Jay, for 3 kills. If he dies at any point, that is game. That's a 3-0.
Yeah, that's 3 seconds left on the clock. I thought once Asim finds these 3 kills, then it's all over. But Assault, the world champ, is never shy of the moment, hits the classic drop shot and the reload with the snap onto Paul X. He was the only guy there, man. He was the only guy there. That's ice. That's ice for Guerrillas. Momentum has definitely got to be on their side. London are going to be mad at it, do that one away.
Absolutely. 1 HP from this control already being done in just 3 rounds. And Ravens, I'm sure angrily, as they give out those fist bumps once more after allowing for a clutch to go there or go the opposite direction. I've got to refocus and hopefully take this attack. And right now it has been all business at that A zone. That one is already done. 2 minutes added on to the clock now. Rather 1 minute, 2 minutes in total. We'll see if London can use that frustration and take this round, or if that will continue to be bane of their existence. As right now it's Scrapz trying to lead the way. 20-11 now for him, as he'll be the farthest man pushed up. We'll see what he can do with this positioning now.
And London, they have bedroom control, so if you are Exceed that player that's causing problems towards bottom bay, you just want to find a kill, play your life. He's able to find 2. They get the information onto the last player. Exceed shuts down the push. Now with him dropping, London at least can wrap their way back to take that bedroom control. You have map control right now. If you are the Guerrillas, you have mid-map. You are pushed out towards kitchen. You influence in the spawns for them to spawn closer. It's only going to set up that pitch for RCDs. He's trying to find the timing with the SMG.
See if he can do it. Tagged up. Eventually erased. Good work from Paul, putting that SMG to good use. It's going to be a few in a row. Now it's on to Assault. He's been so clutch so far throughout this control. The reason why we had kills. Number 4. Able to put another one away. And now it's all on to RCDs again. A 2v1 in the point. London gave it their best shot for the time. And it will be Guerrillas looking to retake this. Asim found. First wave cleared. 1 minute down. Another one to go.
Another one to go. If you are the Guerrillas, you have to just try to fight for that bedroom control. As RCDs is able to sneak his way right on by towards bottom lights. Paul X fighting 1 through the middle of the map. As the trades are bound, it's going to be on RCDs. He can't win that gunfight. So now these gunfights are going to be a lot more important. You have to hold your eyes if you are Guerrillas. And Exceed finds 2. Big plays from him.
Big plays once more. As we said, another wave cleared. 17-10 in lives. 35 seconds to go. And they know exactly where the Ravens are spawning. Any death is a huge one. 1 down. Make it 2. RCDs trying to perform. Can he find the third? Not going to be there. Ravens still with a chance. Still with a few bodies, but they've got to get a move on. Assault holding his irons. Can he win that gunfight?
Oh, no.
No. No.
Oh, no.
They're not going to win any of them. They're not going to win a single fight, but Exceed with information is able to take away one. Paul X now has to direct his focus toward the couches, nading him out as here comes the streak. Can Assault once more save the day? That's going to be two. Paul X saved by the trophy, still locking things down for the moment. It is all out chaos right now here in Hotel Control as Exceed on the 5 spree is still up, and LAG's chances are very much alive again. No more lives left, and Guerrillas come away with another wild round.
Lando, I'm telling you, this has been the most insane control that I think we've had all season. This is some serious Call of Duty, some serious ice at the end of these rounds. I thought once LAG drops 3 dead, that round was going to basically be chalk, but London had no idea where Exceed was playing from. He's able to leave that pressure, find 2 kills, and then stay alive towards bottom bedroom to now force that round number 5. Pretty sure both squads are tied up when you talk about the segments, so it's all going to come down to the kills. And then that final round, it was the Guerrillas able to outslay.
Oh,
here we go.
Take a look at that record, Jay.
Hey, that's not good, man. That's not good.
It is not. But if there is anything about really clutches or wild statistics, today has been the day. So 0-6 of the Ravens, we'll see. Maybe round 5 today could be their saving grace as they were up 2-0.
Oh.
But right now, the Guerrillas are feeling it. Back-to-back crazy clutching rounds. As now they're going to send Arsenes with that Vaznev up close and personal to the top side of the bedroom. London with a bit of a lane. That could be Exceed there to spoil the party. LAG begin to really convulge onto the point. Exceed eventually does fall. Thieves with some nice long-range shots will keep Ravens at bay for the moment.
Oh, man, and the Guerrillas, they are slaying out to the best, shutting down that push from the Ravens over towards B. Because the Ravens know we captured B. And the one attacking round that we had made it super easy to just transition over towards A. But that one, with only 30 seconds left, you have to switch it on up. You have to try to extend this time. You have to rotate your way over towards that A site. Assault is still here. Exceed is still here. A team nade comes in as well. Now there's only one player left on the point for London, but at least the close spawns are in.
Yeah, thankfully those close spawns are there. LAG will know that. They're the ones who are influencing it, for God's sake. But my goodness, the Ravens are just making this a lot closer than it needs to be. I'm sure there will be a few discussions about whether or not going for B off the rip was the smarter play in the end. Hindsight for sure, but down majorly currently when we talk about the lives, but we got to be more aware of the time. Minute and 20 on the clock. Is Paul X able to put Exceed to bed? Escapes with 1 HP. That is how difficult these gunfights lately have been for the Ravens. LAG with a bit of life, but Ravens, they've got the numbers. Full 4-man rush to the backside of the spawn.
Oh, and they find that first kill onto Exceed, so potentially still gonna get that close spawn. He's gonna spawn right on his teammates. You have to hold your irons. Guerrillas have to try to find a couple kills. Assault finds 2. Exceed all spawn is able to find the 3rd. Last player up is gonna be Scrapz. He gets shut down, and the Guerrillas turning the tides when it comes into the slaying in the control. We're able to shut down that push. Now there's only 40 seconds left, and they're continuing on, man. Only 8 lives, make it 7 remaining for the Ravens.
Oh no, it feels like it's all crumbling now for the Ravens. They were up 2-0, and they're letting it slide. This is really the final push. This is the final play. They cannot afford to lose more than 1 player in a spot like this. Arsene's just trying to stay alive as Paul X does get found out. 10 seconds now to go. Nastie's at least able to find 1, but Exceed, if he just finds 1, that could be it. That could be it. 2 more left up. Right now for the Ravens, no respawns, and maybe no problem as Scrapz is able to put away 1, trying to stay alive on the point, but Thieves continues to cause havoc, continues to cause problems. It's 1 man left, and LAG come away with a wild round 5 on control. Ice again coming in from the squad.
Man, oh man, what a control for both of these teams. But for LAG to come out and win this map, when it all came back to one single play where your last player on the point had 1 HP and had to pop a 3-piece, so you didn't get 3-0'd in the control. They used that momentum from an insane clutch from Assault, who also had a stellar performance in this map number 3, and were able to chain it in back-to-back rounds in the following to close out the control all the way in a round number 5. We saw the stats going into that round number 5. London were 0-6. When you came down to those round 5s in control, now make it 0-7. James Bond did not have the ice in this map number 3, and now you're tilted. I'm telling you right now, Lando, if I'm the Ravens, I'm tilted. We allow a 1v4 to happen in the Search and Destroy for us to lose 6-4. Then we're up 2-0. Our teammate gets a 3-piece, and then the last guy on the point gets a 3-piece with 1 HP to eventually extend the map, and then you end up losing the map. Man, you had the hardest regain of all time if you are the Ravens, because the Guerrillas, all momentum on their side, man.
We've talked so often, Jay, about whether it was the 1v4 clutch, whatever it was, just fist bumps. Still, the Ravens are giving each other fist bumps right now, trying to smile through the pain after losing a control. I mean, look at it. Look at it right there. They were up 2-0. There was 1 player alive on the point, and you have 3 people up. I would be breaking my teammate's arm, I think, with the fist bump right now. I mean, we talk about it, man. How close have London been to seeing success? To seeing
stage 3, man.
Victories come their way. And I mean, I don't know how this map 4 is going to go, and I would obviously hear your thoughts on it. But regardless of what happens in this series, if you are Ravens, this is either going to be, I feel like, what maybe unites this team together for an unbelievable placement because they have absolutely gone through the ringer and back, or this could just ruin relationships, I feel like, for forever if you're not able to finally win a series. Goodness sake, what a crazy day of COD it has been, Jay.
I just can't believe it, man. If you think about what London have been able to do all throughout stage 3, they go to a game 5 in their very first series, fall short in the game 5. They push Atlanta FaZe, even though they ended up getting 3-0'd. Every single map was close. And so far in this series, it's been the same exact thing. London are out there competing with the best teams in the game. They just don't have that closing factor, man. You find yourself in a 1v4 in the Search and Destroy. You got to be able to close that one out. You're up 2-0 in the control. Everything is going right. Everybody was positive. Everyone was slaying. It just came down to one play, man. One play has costed them multiple maps so far throughout this stage. You see everyone trying to take a deep breath. They're at a loss for words that they find themselves down 2-1 in this series with the way that they have been playing. But like I said, they need to hit the hardest regain of all time, because this series is far from over, because you know LAG have been struggling in hard points as of recent.
Jay, give me the halftime speech, right? If you are the coach, if you're the captain of this Ravens lineup, what are you saying right now to the team to get the guys focused loading into Mercado Hardpoint?
Listen, guys, you guys have simply been outplaying them every single play. Every single map, you have been doing what it takes to close out. You just have to find what it is in that final 10 seconds to close out these maps. You guys got this. You know what it takes to go and play at the highest level. We just got to get some ice, man. You guys are capable. I think the play that I'm really focused on, the guy who's going to hype them up, has to be Asim, who is currently playing with a headache or something. Like, his forehead has got to be steaming with some of the plays that he is seeing.
You got me hyped up, buddy. Let's go. Come on.
Let's go, baby.
Send us to a game 5. The COD fans deserve it. We all deserve it. We've yet to see a game 5 this week. London, after all the turmoil that you have gone through, after all the struggles, can they send us to a game 5? It would be only right, I feel like, for COD fans everywhere, but I'm sure for LAG, they would love to go ahead and lock it up here, not see that LSCLO Search Destroy for game 5, but to Mercado we go. We've seen it already for some Search Destroy. We had some wild moments, and I'm sure we will have some more again. Can Ravens force game 5, or do LAG call series and get their first dub of Major 3?
And this map is all going to be about the rotations. We have two of the worst teams on Mercado Hardpoint when it comes down to getting into that next hill nice and early. And both of these squads, 10th for the Guerrillas, 11th on the side of London. So whoever sets up properly for these hills is going to be able to walk away with this map, as neither one of these squads want to die over towards P1. They don't want to fight for that side, as the Guerrillas are just maintaining that better side of the map towards Cantinas. They're thinking a step ahead right now.
Yeah, LAG saying absolutely not. Like, you think we're going to go and chow out for P1? Not a chance. We're holding on to Cantina as if our lives depend on it, because they basically do, figuratively, of course. But final 5 seconds of P1 will come to a close, and now Guerrillas are awarded what they've so heavily fought for. Assault starting things off nicely. 3 in a row, 5-1. Now make it 6-1. This guy, Jay, in a position like this, it feels like can make some magic happen and maybe earn a cruise missile nice and early. Ravens prepare for their very first opening break opportunity.
Oh, Ravens, they're trying to do it from tunnel, but it's working exactly to what the Guerrillas want them to do, as they are pushed out all the way towards God. Heady Arsonies is going to know where they're coming from all throughout the head side. That's another 3, making all 4 dead. And now this is where you have the opportunity to try to chain a couple hills together. They find all those kills. They're trying to rotate over, but Scrapz, he's going to cut them down. So now if you are the Ravens, you're going to be down by almost 50 to 60 points. You need to have a response going into this 10 hill.
Yeah, and the positive really already for the Guerrillas is that whenever you want to invest that cruise missile, you've got the chance to do it. Like we said, it just feels like Top Cantina was a spot made for Adam Assault Garcia. That we're using the full name. We're getting serious now, folks. Game 4 already underway, and so far it's been LAG who has arrived, but Ravens only 6 points to their name. We're talking about the streak, and now they will decide to utilize it. We're just into P3, and it's already time for a cruise missile. Are those trophies out? Yes, they are. A bit of damage done to the roof.
Oh, man.
That's all right. Here on Mercado, everything is pretty much destroyed. A great break, though, for Guerrillas, and that lead is about to grow much more.
And this is where the game can start to get out of hand, because you know if you are London, you can't give up these 40 seconds and fight for the next hill. You have to try to find the break, but that's already 3 dead in the feed. Last player here is going to be Scrap. He at least finds 1, but there's still more bodies here on the side of the Guerrillas. A huge 1-on-1 between him and Assault. Assault is able to win it, and off the rotation, it's going to be a 2-on-2 battle. You have to win these gunfights if you are London.
Yeah, and Assault also wins the other gunfight on top of it, Jay. So the final 20 seconds are going to go the way of Guerrillas, as Assault maybe feeling a bit of height after that controlled clutch. Now comes to the hard point, and it started this one off nearly flawless. As we jump in toward the barbershop, tell you what, man, Ravens, they need a bit of something, whether it's a cut or a clutch. They need something to go their way, as they've got early time, hoping that a break will not happen again.
Oh, well, look at it. Look at what the LAG are doing. They're putting a lot of pressure towards the back. London almost down by 70 points. They have to get a hold. Let's step aside and let's go to a listening with London.
Back alley, 1 shot. Nice.
Good call.
Oh, look at
No, back alley, 1 more back alley from house. Get in some of them, get in some of them.
Okay,
Right,
it's a 2v1 right here.
Yellow van,
2v1.
yellow van.
1 shot.
One yellow van, we already knew.
Got him.
I'm
leaving him.
watching, He's already blue, so he just done the gate.
He just shot me through the gate.
I'm 1 shot, 1 shot. I can't go there, 1 shot, I'm 1 shot.
He's weak, he's weak, back him down.
Oh, I spawned dark.
I see him, he must
He's
be
still
far.
there, he's still there, bro. Opposite the garden truck. Nice,
He's dead. Waiting for you guys. I'm bringing big
Asim's behind him, they're spawning in new, they're spawning in the time.
8 seconds, we have time, we're good.
Who we see? I'm gonna go on the wall, Baron.
We'll start
Back alley stunned. Back alley stunned. Exceed. It's going dark. It's going dark. Play this side.
I'm swinging it.
He's in tin on the bar, he's in tin on the bar.
My child.
Right, dark dead.
Nice.
Ready?
Double chow.
Ready?
2, 1, go.
Okay.
He's taking it, dead.
Nice.
I want top, I want straight to top.
I'm back alley, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Right under me, front door, close front door, close front door.
Close front door, really weak.
I have your dark, you have dark.
Go blue side.
Blue side.
Okay.
Dark.
Last point, yeah, they're coming blue.
We're missing RC.
Sonny, you made him.
He's stuck on me, he stunned me.
Back alley.
Mid coat, really weak. Mid coat, free kill.
Dump heady.
I can't, bro, they're both sides on me.
Play new.
He's challenging you T1, challenging you.
One in the house, one's already in the house.
Nice, good win.
Nice, good shot, it's a big 20, bro.
One's already in, man. Top house.
Here.
Two dead.
They spawn house, one's in bottom, pushing out towards people, one's
No,
top
he's
out.
awning, I didn't see him.
Already there, Paul.
I mean, I was very interested to see how the Ravens were going to sound. I think a little bit better than I'm sure some people would expect, but I would say, to me, Jay, frustrated, but still focused. Ravens know the task at hand. The problem being, though, is that they have got to make a break nice and early over toward Cantina, because if not, LAG can start to walk away with this.
Yeah, LAG, they cut their losses over towards 10, and they win that rotation once again towards Cantina. That's another 4 dead in the feed. You saw how difficult it was for London to try to find the break on P2. They could not do it. And so far, The Guerrillas are trying to answer on P6 as well with the flawless hold as they are pushed out towards back alley. aBeZy finds another one. He's going to jump on top of the rail. At least the trade is there. That's 3 dead already. One player here that can cause them some problem is going to be Nastie, but now you have to wait for your teammates to try to get back into the play.
That's the biggest problem, and you can tell for Nastie, he just wants to go. He just wants to get involved. 20 seconds to fight for it. Tell you what, man, Assault's not going to lose a fight like that. A Tack who is just waiting for you to come around the corner. And right now for the Ravens, they are just starving for points. LAG eager to watch them strive for every single second. As we head to the final hard point of our first set of rotations, Ravens will be here, but they are low on numbers. Guerrillas coming fast.
Oh yeah, the Guerrillas are coming from both angles as well. You have one player in Exceed who eventually does get cut down, that player who was trying to work the pinch. And they also shut down the pressure from Archdies through the middle of the map. Now the break is not going to be in as fast as you thought it was. You have to try to break their setup once again. Asim finds one through the middle of the map. They're trying to set up the pinch through the back alleys. But so far, the setup right now for London is too strong. 130. They have gotten themselves right back into this game, Lando.
Yeah, I love the angle that Asim was playing right there. It does eventually fall at the hands of Archdies, but you can tell for the Guerrillas, they just don't feel comfortable. They do not feel comfortable to jump inside of this hard point. And when they begin to make their attack, there's only 20 seconds here. If Ravens win this, they're right back into this, baby. And that is exactly what we see. They get a full 60 at parking. When we talk about they needed a bit of life, it is a wonderful setup there from the Ravens. The pesky plays coming in from Asim that at the snap of a finger, the drop of a hat, we got ourselves a 5-point game.
Oh, we have ourselves a 5-point game, and London are looking like they're going to try to take the lead with a little bit of time off of this P1, but they're just doing a great job of maintaining the better side of the map. They know going into this P2, we cannot flip these spawns. We have to win these gunfights. Big kill coming in from Archdies to at least relieve the pressure from back Bananas. But the spawn's still there on the side of London. Probably don't want to fight a lot of this time. It's more important about these kills, and Exceed is starting it off.
Oh, this is a big gunfight. Scrapz is able to take that, quickly turns the corner. This pretty much could potentially be for spawns. You've got a few players that are starting to win. Another big win for Matty Marshall. How solid has he been so far this series, Jay?
He's been unreal, man. We talk about the player that he once was. A guy that has the ability to take over the game. Hasn't really had a lot of success with the London squad, but when he's on, and then alongside Paul X, who's picking up the Vazdan, picking up the TAC 56, takes over already on that Godheady, and now at least sets up the Ravens to have the preferred side going into the P2. You also earn that cruise missile. Now you just have to hold strong on the setup.
Yeah, this could be an opportunity where the Ravens could start to get away with this game. We were talking how they were down. They needed a huge hill, and they've turned things up. They've got the spawns right now for P2. However, the break is already starting to be established. Asim comes away with the big one. Scrapz now on 3. Can he sniff out one? Can he sniff out where Shotzzy happens to be? And yes, he will. 30 seconds still to go. And really for either team, somebody's going to hop inside of this objective. Ravens have held it early, but LAG have not allowed for them to get comfortable.
LAG find the break with about 25 seconds left, and then already off the rotation, you have a couple players from the Guerrillas ready for the push. Gonna have Jodeci just taking his time with that dead silence, invested towards top 10. Exceed does cut down his teammate in Exceed, and that is a perfect rotation out of the Ravens to start off with this initial time over towards 10. Now the Guerrillas have to try to fund the break. They're going from every angle.
Yeah, we thought it was gonna be over at P2 and Cantina, but I guess it's gonna have to come at 10. Paul X has got to stay alive. He cannot afford to fall. Why? Because you've got LAG players coming in from every single crevice, every single angle. Right now, inside of 10, it's a break quickly coming in for the Guerrillas, but how long will it last? Nastie could be the one that helps decide it. Asim having to jump on forward. That is wonderful work coming in from the Ravens in these close quarters. We are all out dancing around the 200-point mark. Another lead change. Ravens with a minor advantage will close this one out. And they look good to have a decent advantage moving into this next hard point. But Jay, it is Mercado. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. It's all about these kills. And unfortunately, Paul X doesn't choose the best time to invest his cruise missile as soon as his teammates do drop. So you're just using this now to try to get that information, but it's going to be a full setup on the side of the Guerrillas. Have the potential to close it out on Barber. You're holding down the pressure from the middle of the map. It's looking like that's going to be the angle that London are trying to attack from. Trophies go down. Here comes the pressure. There's only one player in the hill, though. LAG has to get closer.
They do indeed one player off a spawn. Archdies is able to put away 2. Exceed. You can see it. He's working off some comms. Will actually
spawns flip, spawns flip.
But Scrapz is able to find a few. As you said, the spawns will flip in London. They're knocking on the door. They will contest. Oh, Exceed gets hit with the stun. And that will wildly change up his POV. He drops, and it's another break for the Ravens. They absolutely can win this hard point right here.
But the Guerrillas, they get the close spawn. They get the close run to a back garage. You just have to find a couple kills. That's all 4 dead in the feed. London, they're going to do it.
They're going to do it. They're going to send us to a game 5. Give me more COD. In the way that this HP started, we all said it would make perfect sense. If London were tilted, if they were frustrated, the listening wasn't immaculate, but they remained focused and fiery as they are able to come through with the clutch here on Mercado HP. Down early, but did not hesitate. Both of these teams, Jay, you could feel the hunger that they have, trying to walk away with both squads' first win of our Major III qualifiers. And for this week, it is the first time that we are headed to a game 5. Good heavens.
Good heavens, my friend. I cannot believe we're at this point in the series with the way both of these squads have played, but the struggles in hardpoint once again come back to bite LAG right in the ass.
Yeah. Good.
And that's not good, man. 1-9 overall in their last 10 hardpoints, as London are able to clutch right on up in those final moments, find the break in towards Barber, and are able to force that game number 5, man. This is insane series, man, because the last 2 times these squads matched up, it went to a game 5. So I'm super excited to see how this one turns out.
Absolutely. It is going to be an incredible finish to this series. We've had some unbelievable moments, some crazy clutches, and Jay's pulling up to 5. I got to do it myself, man. It's going to be a fun one. Make sure and stay with us, folks, as the conclusion to this series will be on Elisilo Search and Destroy. Make sure and stay with us. The fun only continues.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Hi, friends, and welcome back. I think we had maybe a little bit of a lights out moment when it came down to the start of this series. That's what it came down to, Jay. This was supposed to be the very first series of the day. We experienced some rain delays. LAG have to go a little bit they have to drive a little bit down the street to go to the LA Thieves compound, which is where they're playing from. We came into this series, said who was going to walk away with their first dub. Can we see Game 5 for the first time this week? We have got it. But it has taken us a 1v4. It is taking us a 1v3 clutch in a round 3 from Assault, who had 1 HP, just to get here. But here we are, buddy. CDL Search Destroy. Woo!
Oh, man. I can't believe that we are here in this series, man. This has been one of the best series I've seen all year long. By just the sick plays that are happening in the final moments of these maps. You see the stats right there from young Matty Marshall. 1.28 overall. Dominated in the hard points. But none of those stats matter. It's all about this Game 5, man. London have yet to find any success on this map, but it's also been quite a struggle for the Guerrillas as well. You see the map 5 records. That one win for London has come against the Guerrillas. So here we go. Can they try to do it again?
And they do it again. We are very well experienced when it comes into both these rosters on CDL Search and Destroy. And really the reason why this round has started off the way that it has is because of the intuition that London has on the fast and aggressive plays that Guerrillas are commonly ones to make over at that A site. Nice sniper out early. They're coming in from Exceed. As he expires a few shots, he's gonna be careful about his own life. 8 players up. Nobody yet to fall. However, that's about to change. Assault exchanges a few shots, 40 seconds to go on the round, and that bomb has got to get moving.
Oh yeah, the bomb is going to start to move up towards the safe site. So they're starting to understand what type of setups London are going to be playing around. As time is starting to tick, man. They're just trying to pre-fire through these corners, trying to get the information on anyone playing in towards the site, but here comes the action.
Here it comes. The Asim ends up getting stunned and will actually get found out for the first. Arseny's great work on that one. Time continues to tick away, and Nastie not able to clean up one himself. Scrapz ends up falling inside a mattress, and with that, it is a Ravens 2 versus 3. It's going to have to be a retake, and they're also going to have to do some work to plant down, or rather to defuse that bomb. Some shots exchanged early as Paul is able to clean up the first. Now 2v2.
2v2. Pollux relieves that line of defense to the player watching that late flank. And now you know. Both players are going to be in towards the site, so how do Nastie and Pollux try to combine for this? Nastie only has 2 HP left. You have to get out. He sets up Pollux 1v2, 1v1.
It's a 1v1. Oh, and Nastie is able to grab it. And you can see Arseny's, the frustration on his face. It's a 2v3 in the end for Paul and Nastie, and that was such good work up close, Jay. I mean, there were some moments where Paul was just shooting through the wall, also trying to help out the audio cues there for Nastie. They came in focused and didn't care if they were a man down. It's London's turn to clutch it up.
In London, they usually do struggle on the retakes on this map. 11th. When you're talking about all the teams in the CDL, but when Pollux is able to find 3, makes your job a whole lot easier as they take round number 1. So now for the Guerrillas, on the defensive end, how do they decide to set up? You're just gonna put 2 players in towards the site. I don't know if Asim thought the bomb was free, but just gives up his life. Now into 3v4.
Yeah, I think everybody knows. I mean, what LAG likes to do when it comes down to not just their offense, but also their defense. They just put those rookies, they put the SMGs back to back inside a mattress room as they will lock down that A site nice and early. But Ravens, they did a great job of clutching out the round last time when they were down in man count. See if they could do it in the current 3 versus 4. Assault, the only one out of the play. As things begin to get dicey. Dead silence really on the board for a few players. Nastie currently 1 to Rocket. So Assault gonna have that information, not off of footsteps, but because of the fire that Nastie exchanges.
Oh, yeah, man, at least Nastie's able to stay alive, and he's also able to find a kill. So now he turns it into a 3v3. Keep paying attention to where Scrapz is on the minimap. He invested that dead silence, already finds himself toward top party, but can't win the gunfight onto Assault. And with only 20 seconds left, that bomb being down in A tall task ahead. Shotzzy finds the first. All left up to Paulex in the 1v3. He does take down one, but the trade is not going to be there. Guerrillas too strong on the defensive setup as they are able to tie the game up now at 1.
It just makes you wonder, man. Like, I mean, if Asim is involved in the later stages of that round, how differently could it have gone? And I know based off of his play, it then, you know, forces the team to do something a little bit different, but just makes you wonder if maybe that first blood ends up at least being delayed a little bit longer. Maybe the Ravens have an easier chance, but regardless of it, Asim will fall. We know of him to be one to not shy away from the opening duels. Feels like he is constantly involved in those fights. However, 0-2 to start throughout our beginning 2 rounds. Round 3 we go. LAG back on attack. Last time around, it was a slower push into that A bomb site. This time around, it is 2 early picks, both from the Rooks.
And already into 4v2 as Exceed is able to line up that shot with the sniper to take down Paul. Now the information is going to be known that they're all trying to bring this bomb over towards B. So Nastie, the only player here from London, trying to watch the cross, while you have Scrapz working on that super long flank all the way through courtyard. Should be a free B bomb plant. You take down Nastie. Now it's all up to Scrapz in the 1v4. No dead silence yet to work with.
I love Scrapz, but this is not going to be easy. He at least dodges a sniper bullet off the start. That will help. Hit some nice shots there onto Arcades, but that will be a no-go. Nice and coordinated out of the Guerrillas as they are able to make that sniper land from Exceed. We saw Thieves walk away with that pick as well. As the Guerrillas very much so investing in their young guns to make the plays. They're able to do it that round. And that's back-to-back for Guerrillas, 2-1.
So far, it's been all the attacking side, at least on that round from Exceed. When he finds that first kill, you see Asim. He thought he had an opening through Keg Alley, but it's exactly what the Guerrillas wanted him to do. It's an easy attacking round from the Guerrillas to now put themselves up 2-1. They're going to go back to the bread and butter. Let's double stack both our SMGs in towards the site. This time, let's hope Asim just doesn't run in for free.
And that's a big part right there where the trophy does get spotted from Asim toward the top. So utility could definitely be something for the Guerrillas that they may have to deal with when it comes at a mattress, and they'll actually look to back on up at least a bit. Still very much a fiery force inside of the warehouse, but Ravens will look to back on up. They actually got, I was gonna say, for a moment, they had player 8 and Scrapz making his way up toward the top side of the map. But it is gonna be Nastie making his way toward the bottom side, who ends up finding that pick.
Yeah, Nastie. He puts himself all the way towards top tower, and he's able to find that first kill. So now you maintain court side of the map. You also eliminate one of the SMG playmakers on the side of the Guerrilla. So there's only left one player left in towards the site. You take down Thieves, but look at Assault. Oh, he almost tries to make the play, but now it's all up to Arcades. 1v3. He gets cut down, and London, they respond with another round. Now tied at 2.
Goodness, Jay, I feel like I'm just on the edge of my seat for every single kill.
Every time, man.
Every single little moment toward the end, you can just feel the importance of every gunfight victory. But you could argue that none were more important than the opening pick that Nastie's able to find. As we said, you had Scrapz on one side, you had Nastie on the other, both searching for information. And with that, they're able to find it, and that 2-round drought will net them their second, as we are all even early here on El Asilo. So far for the Guerrillas, as we said, they've just really not been overly aggressive inside of that A bomb site. I'm sure everybody has seen the statistics of how many bomb plants that Thieves has so far throughout this season. Team's starting to figure it out. But as it currently stands, Exceed runs on forward, and they are going to be very, very eager to plant this bomb down nice and early. The best team in post plants, Jay.
Yeah, 83% win rate whenever they get this bomb down. And it has to show here. It's now 40 seconds. London trying to retake. You have 2 players working their way up towards field. You have 1 player in Arcades who at least holding his back position, knowing that they're going to try to play for him. The dead silence get invested, but time is still ticking. You got to make a move.
Do indeed. Paulex able to win his gunfight. Arcades also will drop a very fast 4v2, and if you're Ravens, you know exactly where the final 2 players are hiding. Paulex looking very nice, sporting that Vaznev now, goes for the quick turn and burn as all 4 from the Ravens fly high. They stay alive, and they grab that round in a very dominant way. Wonderful, wonderful work there at the close range.
And the setup right there from the Guerrillas just has to be better. There's too many openings on the map. You had one player who was sitting towards bottom pool. You have aBeZy who's watching the flank through field. He knew that the pressure was going to be on him. You at least have to win that one-on-one. He loses that gunfight. The player loses that gunfight towards bottom pool. At that point, you get all the information that you need. If you are London, the last 2 players alive, all the SMGs, they're definitely going to be playing in sight. They set up the pinch, and they're able to close out the round flawless on the retake to now go up 3-2.
Yeah, you said it perfectly, man. I mean, for LAG, you just had 2 players who were out of the play, 2 who directly were in the play. A great job there for the Ravens. Sniff them out and grab the smallest of advantages. 1 round. We'll see what they can do with it. Asim, a bit of a slower start so far to this search destroy. Has lost a few opening duels, but a first pick here would surely do wonders for the team. Attacking on Elisilo is never an easy task, and as he really lowers his head, that gives Assault a chance for some information, and I believe he does spot Asim there.
But Asim is just a call out, man. He's going to get all the information to the team of how they're playing this. You know that RC was that player towards B. You saw Assault top mid. Assault eventually does get cut down. So now in the 3v4 situation, Asim is able to take down RCs. Now it's all up to the SMGs in a 4v2.
Asim able to win his. Cannot snap out of the second. Up to Joe Thieves, 1 HP. 2 players still left to find, and the Ravens take their time. They make their way. They really mosey their way up the map. You said an early pick would be nice. They're able to find it. And Asim getting involved. 2 kills in this round. And you can see it already, man. He's getting vocal in the comms. The boys are starting to feel it.
Man. Lando, I don't know, man. The resilience right now from the Royal Ravens is at
wild.
The tippity top, brother. You talk about how this series has went. Every map has been all the way down to the very end. But they are feeling like they probably should be up 3-1 already in this series. It should be done.
They were 1 HP away from already winning this.
That's insane, man. That's insane. They are clutching on up in this final search and destroy, up by 2 rounds. They're shutting down the aggressive push from the Guerrillas on that quick plant. And you can just tell that they're playing with confidence, man. Asim's just going to pop his dead silence. He's going to go on that flank.
Oh, but Arshnies, is he going to read this? Is he going to read this? Oh, my God. Asim nearly hits a wild, wild shot. The thing, though, is that Nastie's here as well. So dead silence invested from Asim. Dead silence invested for Nastie. Quite a few field upgrades tossed at this round. However, they are currently down in man count, and this gunfight pretty much means everything. It's the swing round, the bait and switch. However, the bait has escaped. Exceed managing to stay alive for the moment. Time continues to tick away, and now it is all on to Scrapz. A 1v3 of which so much was invested, and it all will come crumbling down. A swing round that LAG had to win, and it looks as if they will.
Great play from the Guerrillas to stop the bleeding, and more specifically out of RCDs, to find that first blood onto Asim towards the late flank, and then the repositioning towards field. You saw that that's a lot of the focus of what London are trying to do on their retakes, to take down the player who was watching that late flank in RCDs. You know the positioning that he's playing, but you just waste a lot of time trying to locate him, trying to find the trade, as eventually he was able to reposition himself to find that second kill onto Nastie top window. Just good work from the Guerrillas. Get that first blood, get the bomb down, play your man advantage, and eventually close out the round. Now down 4-3.
Ravens on the attack as Joe Thieves will pop dead silence, and he is running past every player of the Ravens. Assault will find an opening kill, and that information will be given to the rookie as he begins to fly. Thank you very much for our third. Nastie quickly left at a 1v4, potentially waving the white flag. However, we have seen a 1v4 clutched already in this series. Nearly 2 on the day, maybe on the cards for the third. Puts in some work, and just like that, LAG down 4-2, win back-to-back, and we are all square again, Jay.
Just a perfect setup right there from the Guerrillas to get all the information that the pressure is going to be coming over towards that B site. Once you get your ARs to watch over field, That's what eventually opens up the play for Jodeci to make his way through Keg Alley. No hesitation on the route. Finds the first kill, eventually finds the second. And then it was all left up to Nastie in the 1v4. It's a little bit different than Mercado. He stood no chances. The map's a lot bigger, but 4-4 now. LAG, even it up.
It just feels like this series is... It's got to
Unreal,
go to
man.
around 11. I mean, just the way that both these teams have remained composed, the way that they've been able to clutch, the mental resolve, incredibly tippable. As we said, both teams looking for their first W of the Major III Qualifiers. Still an opportunity for both of them to finish in the winner's bracket when it comes down to that Texas Major. But boy, have they had to fight. Boy, have they had to fight. And that first pick will go to Assault. Very, very well awarded. And now that bomb could be on for the rotation. Player number 5, the first one that's going to be here, is going to be Paul X. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Arseny's is trying to take a long-range gunfight versus him. So they've got the information, but that bomb is rotated, and it's about to go down on B.
Oh, yeah, it's about to go down on B, but Arseny's taking the route towards top radio tower. He's able to force the repositioning, but look at Paul X. Look at Paul X. No hesitation. Able to take that player off site. So now makes it a 2v2. Both players from London strapped in on towards the B bomb. This is a crucial round.
It is indeed. LAG telling them to come out with their hands up. However, they're the ones who have to make a play. They're the ones who have to make a push. It is all on to Arseny's. Who catches?
Oh my!
He's got to go for one. Paul, you've got to run. Paul, you've got to run. And it's a 2v4.
Paul X is unreal, Lando. Paul X is unreal. He was the only player over towards this B bomb. When Arseny's makes his way towards top radio, he's able to back him down, but he does not give up on the fight. He wins the first one on to Exceed. No hesitation, knowing that that bomb is going down. Takes down Jodeci, makes it a 2v2, and then it's just a two-man army. Back to back. Both of you guys hold your angles, try to win the one-on-ones, and Paul X is able to walk away with 3. London at game point.
Is this the round where Ravens call it curtains? Or have LAG got at least one more round in them? As everything comes to an understandable halt here on LSELO. The pressure starting to feel. You're starting to feel it. And understandably so. Paul X, who's been on a heater. Can he be the one to give Ravens their first dub? However, it's Exceed. Starting things off nice. Able to find an early pick and will manage to escape with his life. A big one for LAG early.
Get the man advantage. Now it's all about not allowing that bomb to go down. Because you do not have a single player from the Guerrillas playing in towards A. Jodeci is going to invest that dead silence, going to try to find the timing. Once that bomb gets planted, he hits a couple shots, but not able to finish the kill. He lines up Exceed to at least find the second. 4v2 now.
It was 2v4 last time. Paul still alive. The Red Menace. Can he do it again? Can he do it again? Get shut down. Jodeci is on the defuse, and Nastie is nowhere near the fight. Round 11. Here we come.
There's no better way to finish this series than around 11, my friend.
It has to be, Jay. It has to be.
Such a back and forth series. Back and forth plays, back and forth clutches from both of these squads. But it all comes down to one final round. Who is going to be able to take their very first W in stage 3? In this round 11. Man, the pressure is on, Lando. The pressure is on.
This is just so tense right now between both of these teams. Game 5, round 11. Here we go. Here we are. Is it aggression or will it be a bit of a stall? Nade's tossed out early. Paul X, you could just feel it. He wants to get involved in the fight. He wants to get in there nice and early. Jodeci's tagged up as Paul grabs a bit more map positioning. Continuous hit markers, but no kills as of yet. Oh, he gets punished. Exceed with the first blood. It comes through with the nade as Ravens left back to essentially distance themselves. Scrapz, he's able to find one. Assault will also put one in the dirt. A quick 2v3.
2v3. All up to Nastie and Asim. Can they try to make it happen for the Ravens? As you know, both the SMGs for the Guerrillas going to be sitting nice and tight in towards this A-bomb. Dead Silence is going to get invasive by Asim, as Nastie's still trying to earn his.
Oh. He gets right involved. He gets right involved. Joe to Thieves ends up getting picked. It's a 1v1. A 1v1 for the game. Nastie versus Assault. 20 seconds to go. And Nastie has got to grab that bomb. But he's got some information on where Assault has been hiding. Then to go back for the objective, or maybe not. Tosses the stun and gets the hit markers. Assault, he's off for a sprint. He's off for a sprint, and Nastie clutches it out for the team. A series that was built on clutches will end with one. And how about the mental resolve from the Ravens? So many clutch losses, and this time it will fall favorably on them. A 2v3 as London have got their first W, and a well-awarded one at that, here in our Major III qualifiers.
Oh my God, man. What a series from both of these two teams. London are able to finally get a W in Stage 3. They only had 30 CDL points so far on the season, make it 40 now, after what has been an insane series from both of these squads. It comes down to the final moments in the 1v1. There was only 10 seconds left on the clock, Lando.
Yeah.
There was only 10 seconds left. Nastie, if he doesn't get that stun hit marker, he has to commit towards that bomb plant. But Assault, he was trying to edge his way up through lockers, puts himself in the vicinity of that stun connecting. Nastie's able to get that information. And I think even if you're Assault in that situation, if you back on up, the round is probably yours. Nastie just plays it beautifully once he gets that stun to challenge through Keg Alley, catch Assault off guard, and clutch up in the 1v1. What a series from both of these two teams. Last time they matched up, it went all the way to a Game 5. London were able to take it, and this time no different. London get their W and get their first win of Stage 3.
Oh my goodness, Jay. What a crazy, crazy series that this was. And I know that we could talk about it a lot. You know, London, they allowed for so many clutches to go away. But I tell you what, man, just to have the mental resolve, even going into that Mercado hardpoint, let alone to even get to this Game 5, is wild. We talked about the 1v4. They allow for Exceed to clutch. The fact that they allowed for Assault to clutch out a 1v3 just to guarantee that we could see future rounds of that hotel control. I mean, if he doesn't win that, that's a game that London takes. They close this one out in 4. Unbelievable. A round of applause, really, for all 8 players, to both teams, for what was a crazy, crazy series. Ravens, they catch their dub, as that will do it for myself and Jay. An incredible Game 5, round 11, as we toss it over to the desk. And my goodness, guys, that was crazy. Jay and I need to lay down.
Salute to our casters. Another Game 5, number 34 for study on the season. We got to talk a little bit about this one, though, because it went the distance. And this was a series that we thought the London Royal Ravens could have locked up earlier. Then we thought the Guerrillas could have locked it up. Instead, both teams wanted to fight this one all the way to the end, Allie.
After that first hard point, I feel like a lot of us kind of wrote it off as London looked great. The hard point, 250-172. But for it to go all to the distance to that Game 5, round 11 in a 1v1 situation, you couldn't ask for a closer matchup. And can I just say, Scrapz had an incredible series.
You giving him MVP?
I am giving him maybe MVP. I'm giving him a lot of credit, because this is a player who hadn't been in the league for a while, gets plugged back in, struggling a little bit at the start here, and a lot of question marks are raised. Like, is this really the right move, bringing in somebody who hasn't played and been in this competitive setting in a while? And to me, his showing in this series proved his position to be here.
I was really impressed by Joe Deceives and Exceed throughout this series. The very end of this one, though, let's take a look back because this was one of the biggest plays, right? Paul stopping the bomb, picks up 3 kills in this round. That's what keeps London in it. And then we see the Guerrillas tying things up with a great round from aBeZy, who picks up 3 kills of his own. And I felt like they were following the script line by line. They played this one out to perfection.
I mean, this series had everything you could ask for in Call of Duty throughout it. You know, you talk about that last search and destroy. I mean, basically every intense situation that you could have, we saw. I mean, we saw the London Royal Ravens trying to make plays with Deddy, RCD shutting it down. Individual plays had to come in and just be the miracle for them. I mean, I feel like London look at this series and are like, we should have won all 5 maps.
Yeah.
We look back at like the control. It's just a crazy headshot multiplier Assault's able to get onto Paul X. And then also, I mean, even in that Harper, for them to stay composed and win that, they were down like 80, 90 points off the rip, and Mercado can easily get away from you. Just tippable on another level for London to be able to come away with this victory. What a series.
And you gotta be disappointed if you're the Guerrillas, but there is one moment you'll be able to look back and smile tonight, even though you're gonna be a little upset with the loss. It's aBeZy, the 1v4. Walk us through this one. Search and destroy. This guy had highlight after highlight.
Yeah, so he wins that first gunfight onto Asim, and now he's in he's in a 1v4, but he gets that first win, and then he sees 2 at hedges. This is the impossible. You know you have to take that first fight. He guns him off of the dumpster, and then Nastie goes for the reach out. Little did he know aBeZy had that sub in his back pocket, so he hits him with a nice drop shot. It can be very tough to shoot people on their belly in this game. And then I love this play. He has Deddy, and he rotates all the way to the other bomb site while Paul was trying to flank Barber Alley. Gets it down and then just plays off the sound cue. Just an excellent and flawless 1v4. You saw the gunfight. You saw the cerebral plays. He gets the dub.
Allie, that was pretty impressive from aBeZy. What was more impressive, that individual play or the fact that the London Royal Ravens somehow lost control after being 1 kill away from locking up that round 3?
That's pretty impressive, but honestly, I can't even be that mad at LAG Guerrillas. It was an incredible series fought overall from them. I think there were a lot of moments where we got to see individual highlights from each player on LAG, specifically the 7 spree from Assault to win that control in the final out, but it started at there for them to complete the reverse sweep to even keep themselves in the series. So I'm impressed by LAG's performance, especially in that control, but got to clean up that search and destroy.
It went back and forth, all the way down to the final kill. And the man that scored it, he joins us live right now. Round 11 champion Nastie is on the line. How are we feeling, buddy? Congratulations on winning that crucial 1v1 against Assault at the end.
Appreciate it, yeah. It's very stressful, but I'm glad we got a win, finally.
What was today like for you guys? Because you're supposed to start things off at 3 o'clock. Then you get told the match is delayed. Your opponent's facility goes out of power due to the snowstorms in LA. Yeah. Now you're playing at the end of the night, and this match goes the distance. It must have been a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, it was a long day for sure. I mean, we got here like 10 a.m. and it's now 5:30, so it's been a long day. Honestly, we should have closed that out in 3, in my opinion, but it is what it is. I'm just glad we got the win.
Yeah, glad you got the win. And kind of just say, I hope you're not scared of the dark, because looking at your player cam right now, I am terrified.
Honestly,
the abyss.
Like, there is no
It's actually not that dark in it. I don't know why the camera makes it look like we're playing pitch black. It's really not that dark.
But back to the series, I do want to ask, what was that conversation like after map number 3? Obviously, they pull up the reverse sweep. It was a huge clutch play from them. And then you go into that map 4, and it was a slow start, and you guys clutched it in the end. What was the comms and the vibes like?
Honestly, so the map 4, we put a lot of work into Mercado, so we were pretty like heavily relying on that map. Even though we were down in the lead, we knew we were the better team on that map, and it showed. So.
Nastie, you guys look way better in your last 2 series. I even thought, the matchup that you guys had on Friday, you played it so tight, a lot of opportunities. I wanted to ask, you made a role switch. What led to that, and how's it been for you personally? Because you guys look way better.
So Paul was uncomfortable on the sub, and as you know, we're last, so changing things isn't a bad thing. And I'm naturally a flex anyway. I'm not even an SMG, so it was just a no-brainer, really.
Seems to be paying dividends, and I do want to give you props one more time for finishing this series for us. It seemed like the games that would not end. You put that final kill on the board. You locked things up in the round 11, and I have the clip. So walk me through this one, Nastie, because you find yourself in a 2v2 with Asim. You get the trade on aBeZy. Yeah. Now it's a 1v1 versus Assault.
So Sim actually calls out he might be closet here, so I stun check it, and I knew he's gonna. I can't plant here. I know he's gonna run away when I stun him, so I just chowed him. Honestly, I just got kind of lucky.
I wanted to ask you, first of all, great play. In those situations, because it felt like you guys on a CeeLo in these last 2 CeeLos, you make so many mid-round adjustments where you guys are either like, let's hit top money or let's hit their side and make a play. Who's making those calls? Is it everybody or is there somebody in game who's really taking the forefront?
Honestly, on a CeeLo, we just play spread and play for the info. So whoever really has the info kind of like calls it.
Sure.
And we just go off that really. Honestly, the map's really big, so.
You're currently 5 matches behind 8th place right now. That's where you need to be if you're playing in champs. How does the team feel right now, and who are you looking forward to playing in the future?
Team's feeling good. We've been putting in the work, and it's starting to show. So I'm just finally glad we can close out a series. And these maps, we just got to keep at it. And in terms of who I want to play, I don't really mind, honestly, anyone, to be honest.
Bring them all on. All right, Nastie, we'll let you go celebrate with the team from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and you're walking away with the W. We'll let you go celebrate that.
Appreciate it.
That is Nastie, the man who clutches up for the Royal Ravens as they get just their 4th victory on this season. Half of those coming from the Guerrillas. But let's revisit all of today's matches because on our Sunday we had 3, and it started with OpTic versus Minnesota. And this was a rivalry match, I think is fair to say. Dashy talking a little bit of smack, letting everyone know that they've been fading the Røkkr in some scrims, leaving them hanging every once in a while. Røkkr gets the best of Texas back in Boston, but today, it was all OpTic with the 3-0.
It was a revenge long coming for the OpTic Texas and the Minnesota Røkkr battle, and I think most of us expected this to go the distance out of all of our matches today, and the fact that it was such like a clean 3-0 on the side of OpTic Texas is definitely something they needed as well compared to their last loss, and with the showing some individual performances was a huge turnaround. We saw Dashy pull out the sniper for the first time in a while. He goes 8-3. Dan Ghosty, a lot of question marks around him. He goes 6-2 and clutches up and gets a streak in that Fortress control. So good looks of talent overall in the OpTic Texas squad.
Yeah, big day for the OpTic Texas squad. We saw some massive individual performances. I feel like we're going to see OpTic Texas just roll teams like this sometimes, especially a team like Minnesota Røkkr who seem to be struggling. On the flip side of that, Minnesota Røkkr got to put it together. This is a team that placed great at the last major, and now they just look like they're asleep at the wheel.
0-3 right now in our Major 3 standings. The Surge, they move up to 2-1, though, as they get a win against the Florida Mutineers. Now, we got to credit the Mutineers. They won that game 1, but then it was Surge winning 3 straight to close this one out 3-1. The Surge now move up to 90 points. They're still in that 8th place position. Is this a squad that our top team should look out for, or do you feel like they're where they should be in the leaderboard?
Well, now I feel like they are where they should be, at least in terms of this split, right? They're winning Search and Destroys. Pred still looks like an absolute monster. Sib's clutching up when he needs to, and Accuracy stepping up in some of the bigger moments. We saw it on games 3 and 4. That is what they need. This is a dangerous squad. Everyone knows it. All the pro teams know when you square up against Seattle Surge, it is going to be a battle. And now there is no free win against them in these series. So Seattle, dark horse threat to take this next major, absolutely.
And also, can I just shout out Lamar for a second? Accuracy, a big turnaround from map 1, 8-21, heading into that map number 3, going 24-16. So a slow start, but a turnaround in the end for them to close out that W 3-1.
And now you can see the results. Surge just 1 game behind the breach. They've closed the gap, and they've extended that lead over 9th place, which currently is tied between the Legion and the Mutineers. But when it comes to Texas, these are the squads fighting for your top seeds. We've got 3 of them at 3-1 records. Surge trying to tie that, as well as the Thieves, the Subliners, and OpTic all at 2-1. Remember, though, you got to be in the top 8 if you're playing in the winner's bracket. So that right side, going to be crazy to watch the final games for Legion, Royal Ravens, and the rest of the crew. It all goes down next week, and we've highlighted some bangers for you. Looking at our Friday, Saturday, Sunday matches. Allie, which ones are you most excited about?
Oh, man, I don't know. I think those middle 2 matches, the New York Subliners versus OpTic Texas and Atlanta FaZe versus OpTic Texas, I think this will be a good skill matchup, but also a matchup for winners to see who lands where. So I'm really excited for next week.
Nameless, it's going to be a great week, and we're going to have a fantastic weekend. While we're not playing, or sorry, while we're not streaming, we will be playing and possibly live on your personal channels. Ranked is out. I got up to bronze 3 in my first night. About to be a silver stud. Where are you two at right now in your ranked world?
Iridescent right now on the road to top 250, but all these kids don't got jobs, man. So they're like 18.
No way.
All right, get your clips in. Be like Nameless and Allie. Use the hashtag CDL Ranked Plays, and you could be featured right here on the show. We want to thank you all for tuning in. This was week 2 of our Major 3 qualifiers. We had a fantastic day, and it all continues next week. We do have to relive one moment from today, though. It happened off stream, but it's a good one. Our good buddy, FaZe Ben, making a bet back on February 2nd. Today, we had the payoff.
FaZe win the event.
Yeah.
If FaZe win, you have to shave your head. If they don't win, then you get $500.
Ben, you down?
Should I do it? Chat, should I do it?
Oh my God, bro. There's no way, bro. There's no way you take
the forecast. The drought has ended. Your Major 2 champions, Atlanta FaZe.
Oh my God. Oh, he's bald. He's bald.
It's all gone. Oh yeah, it's a lot of hair.
Oh no.
Right, keep going. Don't be a wuss.
It could have been $500, and instead he gets a doppelganger. FaZe Ben getting it done by Cellium. Only fitting that you have the main AR from FaZe getting that job done.
Man, I was watching it, dude. Cellium, thank God he picked gaming because he was not going to be a barber. Sheesh, yo, but Ben looks like Heisenberg, bro.
A little bit. Get Maven vibes, a little John Travolta. All right, that was our weekend. We're going to see you all next week. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. As always, we're live at 3 p.m. with matches 2:45 Eastern with headquarters. We'll see you next Friday.
Let's go. Yeah. This that action-pack, Rambo rap, no sample, I'm strapped. Heart like Geronimo crack. Go black, I just move on them, advance on them, groove on them, then dance on them, put a trance on them, with this tool on them. Tell all my young MCs, what's the move on them? Mass tragedies when I grand groove on them. Put in long hours over strong flowers, the money's all ours. This is all power. We getting it. We getting it in. I said we getting it. We getting it in. Stand we watch the clock, the work really begin. We getting it.
Watch the cam.
Yeah. Y'all know what it is. You know what it is out here, but we really getting it in. It's what we do. I break day like the crack of dawn and start morning. Pouring victims off rooftops, bodies drop through warnings. Storming like a hawk eyesight. I spent a fortnight, locking in on victims like a pit door fight. Won't let go to press retro. Spit death blows, in other words, flip murders. Hit bourbon, sip murder. Strip a service pistol down. Spring cleaning, the team scheming.